and do as much as we can. All right? So come on, come on. Everybody should already have the answer to number 1.
No.
Shh.
I got 7.
Number 1. Anybody want to take a shot at it? Tell me.
6 square roots of 2.
Of course, 6 square roots of 2. All right? So number 1, 6 square roots of 2. Now, again, if you were listening, that's not too bad. But let's look just to make sure you're hearing me. That this number in front tells you how many square roots of 2 you have. You have 2 square roots of 2. And then you're adding 4 more. It's very, very simple. 2 plus 4, 6. All right? So that's how we came up with 6 radical 2. All right? Now continue down. 11 radical 7 minus 4 radical 7.
7 and then the square root of 7.
That's exactly how simple it is. 7 square roots of 7. Remember what I'm trying to teach some of you guys, because believe it or not, you know, we don't have much more time. All right? Is understand the first couple. That's the most important ones. So if you're not seeing 7 radical 7, now's the time to ask. Nobody has a problem. All right? So now, number 5, that should be kind of obvious now. Are the radicals the same?
No.
No. So the answer is just 5 radical 7 plus 3 radical 6. All right, they're trying to tell you you can only add radicals if the radical is the same. All right, now take a look at number 7. 2 radical 3 minus 5 radical 3 is? Yeah, very good. Negative 3 radical 3.
Oh,
All right.
Do we not have a closer test this week?
Interrupting. Come on. You're interrupting me.
Sorry, I was just wondering.
I don't care. It's on your backpack. Go in your backpack and look.
I did, but I didn't do it.
Then guess what?
I don't have a test.
Okay. What are you asking me?
Well,
Shh.
maybe you didn't like post it.
There's an assignment for every single day. You see, the point is, it's not funny to me. I'm in the middle of teaching something. You're asking me about a test this week. All right. Number...
Just make sure so on here you basically.
Come on now. Come on. Come on. 2 minus 5. What's that?
Negative 3.
There you go. That's the
I'm gonna
answer.
Keep the
Just like we did on 1 and 3.
Mhm.
When you're adding and subtracting, the radical stays the same.
oh,
All right? Just like if I were to say 2x plus 4x,
oh,
that was 6x.
makes sense.
Okay? Here we go. Let's check out number 9 now. All right? What do you think?
Like 7.
Yep.
3x.
That's right. 7 radical 3x. Very simple. All right, Allison. Tell me about number 11.
5.
That's pretty good. But it's not exactly correct. Because what's in front of this number right here?
1.
6 radical 3. All right, the common mistake is to make it 5 radical 3. All right, number 13, Max.
3 radicals 7. Or is it 4 radicals 7?
Did you hear me on number 12?
Oh yes, there's a 1.
Yeah. 4 radical 7. Do you get that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, number 15, Jack. The other Jack.
5 radical 5.
Yep, 5 radical 5x. All right, Here we go. 5 radical 5x. Questions with that? Now listen. You got to be careful in the next one. What do you think? Now, most people do that and it stays the same. But you have to remember what we said last week. You with me? You got to break down the square root of 12. Is there a perfect square in 12? 4 and 3. So now we're going to walk it out. Make sure we're seeing it step by step. 2 radical 3 plus the square root of 4 times 3. You with me? So now what happens to the 4? Yes, it does. What's the square root of 4? 2. So now you see it's 2 radical 3 plus 2 radical 3. And so what is that? That's exactly correct. Good job, Alex. All right, 4 radical 3. All right, Julia, you help me with number 19. What am I doing with radical 20? Yep. Yes, good job. So we're going to change it to 4 times 5. Okay. So now what? And it becomes? Good job. 2 radical 5 minus, now at the beginning I used to just write 1 radical 5 so I wouldn't forget. Your final answer is exactly correct. 1 radical 5. And of course you don't need to write the 1 out in front. I just like to. 1 radical 5. All right, Colin, what about 21?
All right, 21. So we're going to change radical 54 to 9 radical 6.
Good. And now what do I do with the 9?
With the 9, we'll turn that. We'll take that on the outside and make that a 3.
Good.
Instead.
So our final answer?
The final answer is negative 1 radical 6.
That's exactly correct. All right, what's the matter?
Why'd you make the 9 3?
What's the square root of 9? What? What do you think? What do you think? All right, doesn't matter. Okay, now, last week I told you specifically 72. Who remembers what to break 72 down to? Who remembers? What was it?
36 and 2.
Yeah, 36 and 2. You can do 9 and 8, but then you're going to have to break 8 down. All right, so 36 is a very, or 72 is a very common problem. So I want you to try to remember 72 is 36 times 2 plus, what about 50? What's 50?
25 times 2.
25 times 2. Perfect. Now you're asking what's the square root of 36? 6 square roots of 2 plus what's the square root of 25? Altogether? Yep. 11 radical 2. Anybody have any questions? Nobody? All right, let's take a look at 25. All right, Jake. Break 12 down. What's 12?
3 and 4.
Yep, so I want everybody to write down 3 times 4 minus. Now we talked about 48 also. 48 is another common problem. You remember what 48 breaks down to? The largest perfect square in 48. Now let me give you a hint. For these problems right here, guys, pay attention to what I'm showing you. That helps. All right? That helps. You with me? Because you're adding and subtracting. So it's probably, yeah, it's probably 3 times 16. So what I'm trying to teach you is I use the easy one to figure out what the hard one is. Did everybody see that? And then I would just say 48 divided by 3. Okay, so now, what's the square root of 4? All right, Jake, so then when I pull the 2 out, what do I do with the 3? Do you add it or multiply? Because this says 3 times. You with me? So make sure you understand that if you didn't know that, put 3 times 2 down, so you remind yourself. So this would be 6 radical 3 minus what?
Minus 4 radical 3.
Yes. So my final answer?
Oh, it's 2 radical 3.
Come on, guys. By the time we get down to the end, you're going to be pretty good at it, but you got to ask now. Thank you, Emily.
I don't get how you got that.
Got what, though? You got to tell me where.
Like the 6
Radical 3?
radical 3 and like the 3 and the 2.
Okay, so let me draw it over here so I can show you how simple it is. 3 times the square root of 3 times 4. Do you see that? Now you tell me what's the square root of 4.
2.
So I pull that out, right? So normally it's 2 radical 3, right? But there's a 3 already out there. So the 2 are connected by multiplication.
Okay.
You with me now, right? So 3 times 2 is what?
6.
There you have it. You agreed?
Mm-hmm.
All right, buddy. You're up. Number 27
So 45.
is what?
9 and 5.
Good?
And then 20 would be 10 and 2.
No.
Oh, 5 and 4.
Right. Because 10 and 2 aren't perfect squares, right?
And then you get 9.
Okay. What's the square root of 9?
3.
So when,
You multiply 2 and 3.
right, so it becomes
6. The square root of 5.
minus.
And then minus. So the square root of 4 would be 2. So would it cancel out? Negative 2.
No, what are we doing?
Oh, you multiply. That's right.
Right, you're
So
multiplying.
Negative 4 square root of 5.
Right. Now look at that. Make sure you're good.
And then you have 2 square root of 5.
You good with that? All right. You're up. Number 29.
Oh,
What do I do with 12?
okay. Sorry.
Now look right here. This one is the key. So all of them probably have a 3 in there.
Yes.
So 12 is what?
4
Good. 4 times 3.
times 3. Yes.
What's 27?
9 times
Good.
3. And then it's just 3.
Okay. Now we got to break things down. What's square root of 4?
2. So 2 radical 3. And then 3 radical 3. And just, yeah, 1.
So now what's my final answer?
It would be 4.
Yay, 4 radical 3. Simple as that. Yes, sir.
Does the square root have to be like a, or no, perfect square have to be a number. X of 49 is the same.
That has nothing to do with odd or even. Okay. 31, more practice. All right. So 31. Go ahead, Max. Now listen to me. Look up for a second. I always try to remind kids, and this is something I can really help you with if you pay attention and listen to me. When I was doing these, I always found the one that was already broken down. So that's probably the one in all the others. Yeah? So you saw I don't have to think much about it. So 24 is what?
64.
That's exactly right. And 54 is?
6 and 9. So,
Okay, so now let's pull out the perfect squares. And again, I kind of hope you're doing something similar to what I'm doing, is just showing you, highlighting the perfect squares. All right? Eventually you don't have to do that. Okay, so now the first one becomes what?
is that 12?
What's the square root of 4?
2.
There's a 3 already out in front.
Oh, so this is.
Yeah, come on. You can do that. So what's the next one?
-3.
Right.
So that would be 4 squares.
Mm-hmm. All right. Jess, tell me about 50. What is that?
2 and
Right.
not 5 and 10.
No. 2 times what is 50?
Oh, 2 and 25.
Yeah, you with me?
Yeah.
Now, probably what's in the rest of them?
2.
That's exactly how you should be doing. All right. So
And then
18 is what?
3 and 2 times 5. Like,
Yes. Okay. 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 I see what you're doing. And then 32 is what?
and then 32 is the.
Yep. Say it.
2 and 16.
There you go, girl. 2 and 16. That's not hard. Now break everything down for me.
So it would be 10
Good.
into
Good job, girl.
plus 9 into minus 4
Yep.
and then it'd be 15.
Right.
15.
Good. Easy. Very easy. All right. Now the hard parts. The reason why it's a hard part is because we're introducing some of the variables that we did last week. All right. Now, when I say it's hard, it's really not hard. It's really not. It's just a little bit more confusing when you introduce radicals with variables. All right. So somebody tell me what the square root of a squared is. A. A is correct. So now watch. A, and then 27 breaks down to what? So I want everybody to put 9 times 3 minus 2. Okay, so what's the square root of 9? So that becomes what? Somebody help him. What's that become? The first one. Ben.
3.
Yes, 3a radical 3. It's all right, man. I don't care. Just concentrate. It doesn't matter. Really. I don't really care. Then, what's the square root of a squared? Come on. A. So that becomes minus 2a radical 3. Like I said, this is where kids have trouble. All right? Are the radical 3's the same? Yeah. So now we can just combine what's in front. What's 3a minus 2a? Yeah, just a, or 1a. So your answer after all that was a radical 3. Everybody good on this? All right, so let's go down now to 37. Now, who remembers how to break down the x cubed? Yeah, minus 1. Thank you. So it's going to be 3x squared times x plus 2. 27 breaks down to what? What? 3 and 9. Okay, so let's highlight the perfect square. Okay, so when I pull that out, it becomes what? Say it. No, I don't want the final answer. 5 what? Yeah, come on, speak up, kiddo. 5x. Radical 3x. Is everybody okay with that? Alex, you still with me? Anybody? Allison, you still good? Now what's the square root of 3? I'm sorry, what's the square root of 9? 3. So that becomes what? 6 radical what? 3x. Okay, now I really want someone to put, this is the hard for kids right here. It's not really, but it's hard for most kids. All right? So when we do this right here, listen, I need you to pay attention. Can I add 5x and 6 together? No, you cannot. So your answer is this. I want everybody to put 5x plus 6. I need that in parentheses. And then I need a square root of 3x right there. Now listen to me. That's more of an algebra 2 problem. All right, that was kind of hard. All right. Now if you don't put parentheses around it, it's incorrect. All right, it's incorrect. All right, so that's the correct answer for 37. All right, now just to show you how easy the next problem is, I need everybody to take out your calculator, please. Everybody look at the calculator. Thank you. Let's go, chop, chop. Now I want everybody to type in square root of 3 minus the square root of 2. Now, some of the older calculators pull up a parentheses. If you pull up a parentheses on your calculator, you have to close the parentheses. Square root of 3, yes, close it, minus square root of 2. You see that? No, see how that's incorrect. You see what I'm saying, right? 3, now go on the outside. Yours doesn't have a parentheses. Minus square root of 2. So again, I'm really trying to show you how to use your calculator. There you go. And what's the answer? Somebody tell me what the answer to that was.
0.317.
Yeah, 0.317. So if you got 0.317, then you know how to use your calculator. If you didn't get 0.317, you do not know how to use your calculator. All right? So I want everybody to do number 41 and 43. Now, come on, tell me what that's called. Yes, that's what I'm saying. So that's square root of 3. Now you got to move on the outside. There. That's what I'm saying, right? Come on, what do you think you do? No, because now it's under the right.
Oh, yeah.
Delete. Not clear. Delete. Now go on the outside.
Okay. Thank you.
Now go on the outside. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Good. Okay, 41. Who wants to tell me about the square root of 5 plus the square root of 3? Jack, go.
3.968.
3.968. I'm happy with you. I like 3 decimal places. I don't care what you round to, but in higher level math, we do 3 decimal places. All right, so I need someone to tell me 4 radical 3 minus 7 radical 5. Tell me.
Negative 8.724.
Negative 8.27. 724, sorry. Now, please, if you don't have it, right, let me know. Right, because you're learning how to use your calculator. All right, and finally, 5 radical 7 plus 8 radical 13, just to make sure. 42.073. 07. I'm happy with that. All right, anybody have any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? All right, your job is to finish up. Uh-oh, no, I forgot there's some geometry problems down here. So let's look at 47. Find the perimeter. All right, somebody tell me what the square root of 36 is.
6.
6. What's the square root of 49?
7.
So what's the perimeter? No. What's the perimeter, guys?
6 and 7.
No, that's area.
Oh, sorry.
Perimeter.
26.
26. All right, the perimeter is 26 because we're adding all the sides. All right?
Oh,
49. Okay, this one's a nice one. Find the perimeter. What's the only whole number here? 3. Thank you, whoever said that. All right, now I need you to tell me what's the square root of 3 plus the square root of 3. Hello? Very good. 2 radical 3. And then what happens to positive square root 2 and a negative square root 2? They cancel out. So that is, guess what? That's the answer for the perimeter. Is everybody with me? Can I combine the 3 and the 2 radical 3? No. Underneath 3, I want everybody to write this down. 3 is called a rational number. 2 radical 3 is called a what?
Irrational.
Irrational. All right, sometimes that's on ERBs. All right, you have to know the names of numbers. If it's a square root that's not a perfect square, it's considered irrational. All right, and I think that's it, guys. All right, so tonight in your on your iPad, I will post all the what? I'll post the solutions, right? So in my next class, I'm going to do the what? I'm going to do the evens. All right, then you'll have odds and evens so you can check. Is everybody with me on that?
Yes.
All right, right now, do me a favor. Just try to go down and do the evens. It's not really that hard, guys. All right, remember, make sure, all right, tomorrow a little bit, just a little bit harder. Not much. All right, with multiplication. All right, the addition should be pretty easy for us.